Today I wanted to talk to you about the must-haves that you need to have before accepting a foster placement. Hey friends, thank you so much for coming back and watching another video here on this channel that is about foster care, adoption, motherhood, parenting, and a little bit of beauty. My name is Kait, if you don't know, so welcome back and welcome if you're new. Specifically for children under 4 and really focusing on babies, children 0 to 2, but we'll talk about a few things for 3 and 4-year-olds as well. I'm going to start with baby stuff. Now, you may already have biological children, but very often people come to foster care through an infertility struggle, or it's the first way that they want to grow family, like adopting through foster care. You may have nothing at all. So I just want you to keep in mind you're dealing with kids that have been abused, neglected, mistreated, or are in harm's way some way. They're not in a safe environment. So that comes with a unique set of challenges, and in particular, especially in the day and age we're living in with this opiate crisis, it's very likely you will come across a baby that has been exposed to substances in the womb. And parenting a child that has been exposed to drugs or alcohol in the womb is very different than parenting a healthy newborn. So these are the things that I recommend that are going to help you. You want to get a variety of bottles. I have nothing here to show you, but I'm going to insert some pictures because there's so many things I could show you. It would just be too much. So I am just going to insert some pictures. You want to have a variety of bottles. Keep in mind, infants that have been exposed, they may have problems with latching and have a very weak or poor latch and poor suck. So I think having a variety of bottles, not only larger ones like Tommy Tippies that look more like a nipple, especially if baby's coming and has been breastfed at some point, but having very, very small nipples. And in fact, the Gerber ones, which are very cheap, have very, very small, like your very small basic nipples. And I think that those ones are really great for babies that have a difficult latch. Sometimes with the larger base, it's just hard for them to latch onto. So having just the smaller type nipple on the bottle is much easier. Just like the ones that come in the hospital, those little individual 2-ounce ones that come with their own little nipple. That's the kind of size that you're looking for. So I know Gerber makes them. If you're in Canada, President's Choice brand, they have really good ones as well. But you want to have a variety of bottles, and don't buy a full set in each, but I would recommend having at least 1 or 2 of several different brands until you know what the baby is going to like. You can always go out to Walmart or Target and grab that kind of thing after the baby's placed with you and you know which type of bottle they like. So definitely don't have boxes of all different kinds, but do try and get 1 or 2 of the different kinds. These babies also deal with a lot of gas, so different, so the Dr. Brown's, the Advent bottles, the Playtex drop-ins, those are some of the best bottles that I have worked with to relieve gassy tummies. So I would suggest getting some of those, 1 of each of those. So the next thing I would suggest is a DockATot, and these are very expensive, but I have found ours to be invaluable. And really, it's just like a little safe. If you don't know what they are, it's just like a little safe cocoon, and they have other brands that are cheaper as well. I'll see what I can find and I'll link them down below for you. But having that sensation that the baby is always feeling hugged, especially when you're dealing with a baby that has some extra needs. So I think that is really essential, as well as the Rock and Play. I got the Fisher-Price Rock and Play, and also a lot of these babies will probably have reflux. So having them be able to sleep a little bit elevated is really beneficial. The Rock and Play I think is amazing. I think every parent should have it, but especially if you're going to be parenting babies that come from trauma. It has vibrations in it. It rocks just very gently. It's not a full swing, but just to always have slight movement for them is very calming and soothing for them. It plays music, it has white noise in it, and it's super portable so that you can carry it around to different rooms. I think that is like probably my #1 baby item that I can't go without. I travel with it. I love that thing. Something else, this is not necessarily a necessity. It is for me because I cloth diaper and use cloth wipes, but a wipes warmer. I think these are awesome. Any way you can minimize stimulus for these babies, the better. So when you're putting a cold wipe on them in the middle of winter, you know, they might get upset, or if you have something warm, it's just a lot more comforting for them. So I really, you know, even though it seems a little excessive, I really swear by wipe warmers. But personally, they are a necessity for me because I use my own wipes. I make my own cloth wipe solution, and I use little baby washcloths, and I put them in the wipe warmer, and it just keeps them, you know, so then they're just ready to go. But even if you're using disposable wipes, wipe warmers are just a nice way that you can minimize stimulus for the babies. The next thing I want to recommend is a wrap or sling of some sort. Personally, I like the Moby wrap or the Solly wrap as a newborn wrap, the stretchy long piece of fabric wraps. And then as they grow, I like the Baby Hawk Mai Tai type carrier. I've only used the Baby Hawk brand, but I love it. It's really soft on one side. It's got like a minky fabric on one side, and the straps are just really nice and secure, easy to get on, quicker to get on than the wrap, than the Solly wrap, but you can do back carries with it as well. I really like that. One's really great when you're going to be doing a lot of walking, you know, you're going to be out and about a lot. I think that's a really great wrap. So these babies really, really need that. So wearing them as much as possible is very, very important if they like it, of course. But the last wrap that I'm going to recommend is a ring sling. So this one's really easy just for the ease of getting on and off. If you're going to be doing errands in and out of the car, you don't want to carry the car seat. I actually had mine made, and if I can find the information, I'll link it down below. But I had mine made in a linen material, so it's my favorite wrap to use in the summer because they can get, you know, it can get really hot when you have a little heater, I call them little furnace, when you have one attached to you at all times, and some of the other wraps can get really hot. So when it's a hot day, this is my go-to wrap, and you can use it from newborn and, you know, have them cradled in it. You can have them propped up on your hip. You can do a back carry in them. You can have them, I can't remember the name of the carry, but I'll write it here. But you can have them, I think, just like a cross-leg carry where they're just sitting up right in front of you. So you can carry a baby all sorts of way in the ring sling, and I just love how easy and quick it is to get on. So it's my go-to when I'm doing a lot of errands in and out of the car. And the ring sling I actually have can go, I got it made big, so it goes right into toddlerhood. And I used it with my biological daughters well until they're 2s, 3s. You know, if you're at a carnival or something and they want to be carried around, it gets heavy to hold them on your arm, so to be able to pop them up in the ring sling, even as a toddler, is really beneficial. So the next thing I'm going to recommend is also along the same lines of the bottles. You want to have different types of soothers. It's very likely that these babies are going to be harder to calm, and they're going to have that constant urge to suck. So I would recommend having lots of soothers. And again, going to their weak latch or weak suck. The Soothie brand soothers are the best recommended by hospitals worldwide for breastfeeding moms. But I find babies that have a weak latch, or they're smaller or born premature, they're just too big for some of them. So I like to have the Nuck brand. They're just a little bit smaller. They don't go as deep. I found with our baby that we have currently, the Soothie brand ones, she would gag every time I put it in her mouth, and it would just make her more upset. The Nuck brand ones, they're the orthodontic ones that nestle right into the roof of their mouth. She did much better with those. Until this day, she still has those ones. She never took to the Soothie brand. So I would recommend having several different kinds. I like to have the Soothie brand, the Nuck brand, or Nuke brand, I don't know exactly how you say it, and the Advent brand. I think those are 3 great ones to start off with. I also have this little organic one. If I can find it, I will put a picture in it as well. And it's very small. Not the prettiest, but if you are into organic and you're really concerned about that, I think it's great. It's one complete piece. There's no hard plastic on it. It's one complete soft piece. It's got a very, very small part that the baby sucks on versus the Soothie brand ones. So definitely have a variety of pacifiers because it's very likely that the baby will need it to soothe. The next thing I'm going to recommend is Muslin Swaddles, and I think these are great for multi-purpose reasons, but firstly for swaddling, I think they're a great fabric to swaddle with, especially if you live in a hotter climate. They're great, lightweight, breathable materials. Both of my girls love them, and as they got older, they would sleep with them because they're lightweight and breathable, and I didn't have to worry about them. They're also great as a nursing cover. I know this is geared toward foster parents, but you know, if you're having biological children at the same time as you're fostering, you may be nursing. So they're great as a nursing cover, a car seat or stroller cover. They're just great overall, and there's some really cute prints out there. I've actually designed some that are geared towards mamas who have adopted or who are doing foster care. So when those are released, I'll let you guys know about them if you're interested. But you know, Aiden and Anais, I don't know if I said that right, but There's a lot of really great brands out there. I really like the 47 by 47 inch ones. I have ones by Finn and Emma, and keep in mind most of them will shrink a little bit, but the Finn and Emma ones, the pigments are so rich and they don't shrink at all. They're huge. So I really love those ones. A bit pricier. I think they're $50 a blanket, but I have a couple of them. And I think they're awesome. The next thing I'm going to recommend is sleepers. So as a very experienced mother, I've cared for 10 little ones in my life now, in 6 years. You know, my first daughter had so many cute clothes and cute shoes and cute outfits, and you know, babies don't wear shoes. Other than moccasins, they're the only thing that ever stay on their feet, and even when they're super little, I don't even put those on them. I just stick to sleepers, and I really don't care. I used to get them all dressed up in fancy dresses for church when they were 2 and 3 months old. You know, in the odd time I'll still do that now, but for the most part it's sleepers. And I hear a lot of people recommending the zipper sleepers. I think the zipper sleepers are great for during the day, but I actually prefer the snap sleepers at night because you only have to unsnap the bottom, and I just find it easier to get their little legs out. So I like to have a combination of both. Although it is harder to snap them up when you're tired and groggy. You know, when you're having to fully unzip, and usually it goes down on a diagonal, the zip, then you have to really pull their leg out. So unless they're wearing a sleeper that's a bit bigger for them, I find that hard to do at night. But sleepers in general, I'll link some of my favorite brands down below. The next thing I'm going to recommend is a good double stroller. It's likely that you are a big family, or you may be looking at fostering more than one child, or maybe you have a biological child and a foster child. Regardless, I think it's very important that you have a double stroller. I really like the Contours stroller, the Contours option stroller, because you can use it as a single stroller. The seats are completely interchangeable. You can have them facing each other, you can have them facing out, both facing front, both facing back. And if the seats are both on facing forward, you can actually fold the stroller up without having to take the seats apart, which I think is awesome, because just getting the stroller open and getting the seats on, like, that's a lot of work. So I love that this stroller, you can just fold it up with both of the seats facing forward, but you do have the option to change it however you want. I also like, it is a little bit longer, so a tiny bit bulkier than some of them, but I like that the kids are both at the same level versus some of the other strollers where the kids are, one kid is above and one kid is below. I think those are amazing for their compactness, and if you live in a city and you use your stroller a ton, then maybe that type of stroller is better for you. But for me, I've had the Contours options since my second daughter was born, and she's 4.5 now, and it has held up really great. It has a huge basket underneath, which I love which you will need as a large family mama. And what else do I love about it? And it also has really fun prints. Mine is bright yellow. It's black base, but the hoods are bright yellow, and it's got a nice polka dot under them. And the seats fully recline, so they can lay all the way back or sit all the way up. The only thing I don't like is that it doesn't come with snack trays on it. However, you can purchase them separately, but it's just an additional cost. The other thing I love, it comes with the stroller, it comes with a car seat adapter. And it adapts to like almost every single brand. And it also has a safety strap that buckles over top. But I just think overall it's an amazing stroller, and it's very, very affordable. Some of the strollers are crazy expensive, and overall it's an awesome stroller. The next thing I recommend is a really good diaper bag. I don't know if you guys have seen these bags. They've been popular, probably popping up on your Facebook or Instagram feeds lately, but they are awesome. You can wear them as a backpack. They're opened up, but they're still structured at the top, so they open up really, really wide. And then there's also a little zipper at the bottom, so you know, if things fall to the bottom, you don't have to be rooting through the whole diaper bag. You can quickly open the zipper and have immediate access to the bottom. There's a ton of pockets in it, a ton of zippers. It's just a really, really functional bag, and you can get them for a pretty good cost. So when you're dealing with multiple kids, you'll be carrying multiple, you know, bottles, sippy cups, diapers, change of clothes, toys, you know, things for your older kids. It's a really, really great diaper bag. The next thing I'm going to recommend is this Fisher-Price swing, and I love it because it can swing side to side or front to back. My first daughter would never sleep unless she was in a swing. That's the only place she would nap for the first 4 months of her life. I was constantly moving, swinging her. So the swing was a lifesaver for her, so I really think it's beneficial to have a swing. The Mama Roo swing, I've used them at friends' houses. I don't ever have one. I think they're awesome if you can afford them. I just love how they have kind of like a bounce motion. They have many different ways that they move. I think they're really, really cool swings. Personally, they're just not in my budget, but I really love the Fisher-Price swing. I got this one recently. I've gone through a couple swings, but you need a swing that plugs in. Don't get one that runs on batteries. And I feel like most of them plug in nowadays, but just make sure that that's a feature that you look for. So I love this Fisher-Price swing because it runs on electricity or batteries, and you can swing it either way. It has a little projector in it, as well as a little mobile, as well as music and white noise. So it really has everything you would want in a swing, and it doesn't take up too much space. Yes, you know, it's got a bigger frame to it, but the actual swing itself is quite small and compact, and it's easy to fold up if you need to store it. So I really love that swing, and I think a swing is essential. An obvious essential is diapers. I recommend you having a few diapers. Don't buy a whole box in each size, but you know, buying the smaller bag of each size of the kids that you're going to be taking. I would at least get a size 1 and a size 3. In a pinch, those can work for really any size baby from newborn and up. But I would recommend having a small bag of each diaper just so you have it ready to go, and then you can always purchase more. For myself, I also cloth diaper if that's something that you're interested in. Yes, you can still cloth diaper your foster children for visits and stuff. I still send them in a disposable just because, you know, I find most of the parents don't know, you know, have never cloth diapered before or anything like that. But if that's something that they're okay with, then send them in the cloth. But at home we cloth diaper, but we still use disposables for certain things. So definitely stock up on several sizes of diapers, but with the cloth, I would recommend a one size all-in-one diaper. That's a great place to start if you're new to cloth diapering. I really like the Bum Genius all-in-ones. They snap to 3 different sizes, so you can use them from newborn all the way up to when you potty train. They come in really cool prints, and you don't have to worry about stuffing anything. There's just 2 flaps, and you can always add extra inserts in there for overnight if you need for extra absorbency. But they have by far been my favorite cloth diaper, and I've used several different kinds. The next thing I recommend is a sound machine of some sort. It is essential. I use fans personally in the rooms. I also have little travel-sized sound machines. I'll link a picture here and down below, but it is essential to have a sound machine, especially if you're dealing with a child that has had some exposures. They get overstimulated very, very, very easy to have. So to have a white noise machine that just blocks things out is just, it's a must. It's a necessity. The next thing I think is essential for a newborn is blackout curtains. And you know, before I became a mom, I was like, you know, they're not going to want to, that'll scare them to be in pitch black. No, the womb is pitch black. Little babies need to be in pitch black rooms. Get overstimulated and sensory overload very, very easily. The blacker you can make the room, the better the sleep they're going to have. I really like these ones. I have them in both my kids' rooms. So the next things I'm going to recommend are for a little bit older kids, not necessarily babies, little babies. You're going to want to have night lights. They can get scared. It's a new place for them. They can get scared very easily. So definitely have some night lights, and maybe have a variety, you know, some more boyish characters or girlish characters or just neutral, but maybe have a variety that they can pick from so you can make it a special thing. You know, you can pick out your night light that you get to have. So I would recommend stocking up on several different night lights. I also think it's great to have books. Something that you can read with them, just some more comforting, feel-good kind of story type books. I would recommend having some of those, and maybe a little basket of stuffies so that when they come to your house, they can pick out one of the stuffies. We have a little welcome basket that when we have older foster children, one of the first things I do is show them the basket and let them pick out something special. It just gives them something to kind of cling to when they're feeling so, you know, emotional and unsure and confused and scared. It just gives them an immediate comfort item. So I really like stuffed animals from IKEA. I think they're super soft and they're a really good price. But really any stuffed animals, but just nothing with scary looking eyes or anything like that. Just very classic and very soft stuffed animals. Last but not least, a car seat. So your agency may provide car seats for you or provide money for you to get a car seat, or it may be something that you're required to have purchased on your own. But I really like the Diono car seats, especially if you're a bigger family. They are super comfortable and padded. They are very, very compact as far as space, so you can usually fit 3 kids in the back when you're using 1 or 2 of the Diono car seats. But I really, really like these ones. This is the one that we have. And as far as an infant seat, I really like the Graco Snug Ride 35 because you can actually use it up to 35 pounds. So it's just great because you never know what size of child you're going to get. They're just a little bit bigger and they can be used for a longer period of time. So I really like that for my infant carriers type seat. And I really like the Diono for the convertible seat because it can be used rear facing. forward facing, but it's just nice and compact so you can still fit 3 car seats across in a row. So that's what I think is essential before accepting a foster placement, ages newborn up to 3 or 4. If I have forgot anything or something that you find essential, please leave that in the comments down below. Let me know if this was helpful for you guys. Please like this video so we can help other foster parents find this channel and other foster parents to be. This might be a helpful video for them. So like it, share it, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!